right, 3, 2, 1. This is Road 784. I'm Exvee again. Actually, I'm always Exvee, but usually in this spot is Brian Kilby. Brian was once again not able to be with us tonight because of personal reasons going on. But he should be back next week to transform our podcast into an adventure. I don't know. I kind of lost where I was going with that halfway through. Hi, Don. I'm your kitchen this week. Don seems to be speechless.
No, I'm getting a lot of jittering. So I'm thinking if I take off my video between now and what we got this week, will that cause a problem?
Define jittering.
I'm hearing it too, Don. I think it's Exvee, not us.
Oh, okay. Because you're
probably me.
Yeah, you're stuttering really bad on stuff.
Well, that's
fine on hopefully my side, Chris.
Good. Well, that's what matters because that's what's going on the stream. Yeah, hopefully that'll smooth out. So Diecast is here running stream for us once again.
Hey, everybody.
And we've got Matt until the tornado comes and blows into Oz.
We can hope.
Yeah. And of course
Oz
we have Rob.
Oz probably has better toy stores.
Or internet.
Internet, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I need a trip to Oz. Hi, Rob. Maybe. Well, Rob, if you're saying anything, we can't hear you. Are we having muting problems or push-to-talk issues, or has your computer forgotten that it has the microphone? I mean, I'm pretty sure Rob's here. He's on the participant list, and it shows him recording the call so that
he was here during pre-show
podcast stuff. He was.
He says
he's
it's not working.
Well, that's going to be interesting.
He was having computer issues the other
yeah, who was it that said what about 5 minutes ago?
Well, we're still, a show that goes out on the internet, so like
whether you can hear it or not.
Well, we'll always have the YouTube audio, hopefully. No, I assume if Rob can hear us, the recording will be working fine. Hopefully Rob can get his microphone thing going. Because that would be kind of unfortunate otherwise. Especially since the first thing I wanted to mention was that it's birthday week here on RFC. So Don just celebrated a birthday yesterday. Yeah, what are you now, 118?
Don't tell anyone. I'm not that old. Although I did get this really nice birthday card from a guy named Methuselah, so that was nice. But no, I turned 52 yesterday. 9:15 in the morning, I turned 52.
Damn. When did you turn 50? I don't even remember that.
2 years ago.
I mean, yes, according to the principles of math, you would have turned 52 years ago, but I still don't remember that actually happening. I feel like we would have made a really big deal about that because you were officially extremely old at that point.
Well, I think actually, if I remember correctly, we were out of town that night at a Brazilian steakhouse down in Greensboro, so I wasn't actually on. Yeah, I think that's where we were when I turned 50 because Christy wanted to make it a special deal, and it's like I'm okay.
I mean, I can't think of a better way to spend a 50th birthday than a Brazilian steakhouse. Having had the experience in Louisville in 2016, like that was amazing. I'd love to do that again. I don't know that I necessarily want to go to Louisville again, but like the Brazilian steakhouse, yes, absolutely.
I mean, it's technically you're not horribly far from me. I mean, you're not. I mean,
I'm
you're
closer to Louisville, Don.
Yeah, I know. It's just
a lot.
Yeah, I just keep like I said, I keep forgetting how long your state is. It's like
okay, so like it takes me where Brian used to live. It took me 10 hours to drive from my house to his house if I didn't get in a car accident and have to sit for 2 hours to deal with the police. Then afterward,
it also takes me 10 hours to get from my house to your house.
Thank you for coming and picking me up a couple times to do stupid things. The stupidest of which, of course, was JoeCon. But Don, I'm pretty sure it would take me even longer to drive to you then, because I'd still be taking most of the same route that I would take to Brian, but then I'd be turning north at the end of that instead of turning south. Like, there might be a slightly more direct way to go, but I think it would still take longer than driving to Brian.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's once we get once we get the Cybernet. What was it that they used in RID 2001?
They did, that was just the space bridge in the dub, and Car Robots, it was the Cybertron network, I think.
Yeah, so I mean,
and since the Cybertron network was just tunnels through the planet, like you still had to drive a straight line distance. It just you didn't have to drive around the curvature of the Earth. You could shave a little bit of time off theoretically, but it wouldn't be that much faster for this purpose. So Now, if it was a space bridge and we could just, fold space and make the distances not really be there anymore, that would help.
Yeah.
But a road through the inside of the planet probably wouldn't really cut much travel time off.
And probably kind of
incredibly more boring.
And kind of warm.
Yeah, probably a bit. It's also going to be Rob's birthday tomorrow.
I will be 43.
See, I was going to say that you would be turning 0079.
I have no idea why changing USB ports made my microphone work, but I exist.
I'm glad you're back.
Thank you.
So you unplugged it and plugged it back in. Also,
several times.
Perhaps that installation of Windows is developing a personality.
Something's developing a personality, but yeah, I guess after bed and chair, the next step down will be desk computer.
I mean, maybe a desk also,
I may as well at this point.
Over.
Yeah.
Right? The desk would probably be the cheapest thing out of all of that.
Yeah.
I would assume.
They make coffee tables that are aquariums. They need to make desks that are computers where everything is built into the desk and you just like
people do that as DIY projects.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't fail shop class like I did, so then more power to them.
I bet you if you look around, there is somebody out there, a small garage outfit, probably building desk computer cases that you can put your computer hardware in. For someone who's actually good at woodworking and all that, that wouldn't be that much of a project to do. And there would be a market for people who want their minimalist office appearance.
Well, I made a high D in high school shop. I passed with
I know, because you sanded against the grain.
Yeah, I sanded against the grain. Yeah, I mean it's a wood. You sand wood. I didn't realize there was a way that you sanded wood. No one told me that.
I mean, one would think that's the purpose of shop class, was to teach you, you sand in this direction, not this direction.
Well, I think by that point he had already given up on me because I just wasn't grasping any of the concepts or anything.
Don.
It's sort of like y'all with computers and me. It's just some things that I just don't grasp.
Maybe you had a bad shop teacher who, decided to skip over the basics because he assumed everybody should know that, and not realizing that some people aren't going to know that.
Yep.
I just know whenever I brought a project home, my dad just sort of looked at it and sighed and sort of just patted me on the back and walked away. So
it's fine. He knew you were destined to be a business major. Anyway, circling back around, happy birthday tomorrow, Rob.
Thank you.
As Rob and I were kind of roundabout discussing over the last few days, Rob is in fact as old as Gundam is, which it's an interesting way to denote one's birthday.
Yes,
and it's also amusing just because that's a lot of how you make your living now is with Gundam related things.
Mm-hmm.
So really, you were literally just born into it.
Apparently so.
Yeah. So also coming up this week, Hasbro is going to be doing a Transformers live stream on the 23rd, which is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Rob. And then on the 24th, Target is going to be launching pre-orders for one or more Transformers products for their Summer Geek Out event, which means a pre-order will go up, all the bots will swarm on it, and you'll never get a chance to order it. The insiders are telling us that we should expect Project Yellow to be announced and revealed as part of this. So follow tfradio.net/news for more coverage on these events once they open. Of course, they were scheduled to after this week's podcast because that's just how the news cycle works. We can't have, major breaking things before the show when we can talk about it in a timely manner. It's just going to be, fodder for next week after everybody's talked about it. But it's been that way for like almost all the years RFC's been back. So what are you going to do? With that, I guess let's jump into the news for this week. So I put this one up first because I wanted to get Diecast's thoughts on this. Funko has announced one of their SDCC exclusives, which is going to be shared with GameStop in the US, so it should be easy enough to get. A Funko Jumbo Unicron.
It's stupid, and I want it.
It is stupid, and I figured you'd want it. There it is.
We at this point, I think we need a shirt that says it's stupid, but I want it on one side and I hate it, but I'm going to buy it on the other.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to make people even madder, if you want to, you could say they never said they were going to do that, or they said they were never going to do the HasLab Unicron again, and gosh darn it, that's the HasLab Unicron. It's not exactly the same, but you can tell it's definitely styled after the HasLab Unicron.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they're using the album Transformers font there in the corner. Like that's an album cover because that's the Transformers font from the LP release of the soundtrack.
Oh,
I did not know that. When does this go on sale if I can get it at GameStop? Because I'm going to have to make sure I do that.
I don't think an on-sale date for that has been announced yet. This was posted without the GameStop info, and then a follow-up was explaining where the exclusives would be shared to for retail.
Okay, yeah, that's why I didn't know about GameStop.
One presumes sometime after SDCC.
Can't believe I'm going to have to buy another pop.
Diecast, you don't have to buy it. It's ugly. It's horrible. It's a pop. Just don't buy it.
It's not. Look at it. It's
yes. I am looking at it. It's horrible. Do not waste your money.
It's a Unicron, though.
Yeah.
It's an ugly Unicron. They couldn't get me to buy tailspin pops. That's telling you how much I hate the things.
It's a HasLab Unicron. I can sell that thing for like $18,000.
You have a spare. You can sell it anytime.
Yeah, you'll need to with all those cars you have on pre-order.
Yeah. I was about to say, is that how you're paying for all those cars? Did you buy more Unicrons than you told us?
Yeah.
That's not how any of that works.
This is one of those jumbo pops like the Optimus Prime Walmart had and clearanced out in record time. Was that last year or the year before?
Last year, I think, because I
yeah.
had that one.
So this should be about 10 inches tall.
Oh, then he's gonna make my Optimus Prime look too big. I'll have to use the small Optimus Prime with him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do they do like mini Funko Pops, like little teeny tiny versions?
They do. They actually do keychain ones, so those would be the mini ones.
Yeah, so you just need them to do an Optimus Prime in that size, and then you'll get your as close as possible to the scale you want.
Yeah. I think they actually did Optimus Prime in a mini keychain one. I think it's on my Amazon wish list.
I look at all these jumbo pops that I see at GameStop and Walmart and so forth. I'm just thinking there are so many better figures that they could have used that plastic.
I mean, you can say the same thing about reactions, though.
Well, Don, if you're gonna do a jumbo pop, why wouldn't you do it of Unicron? That's. I mean,
well, one that didn't look like crap would be nice.
Now, here's the question, though. I noticed the way the mouth is open, you could get a separate pop of just the head as it would be orbiting Cybertron. I wonder if we're going to get another one like that.
Rob, don't give them ideas.
Oh, I'm sure they have ideas already. It's not my fault.
I was thinking, too, they should have done the pop of Unicron's planet mode.
Yeah.
Although then how would they make it look soulless?
Very easily.
I wanted to go ahead and get this out of the way because Diecast is the only one who's going to be excited about this out of our group. There was one other little bit of SDCC exclusive related news that came up. Let's see, I have the information here. So Knickknack13 on TFW posted about going to their local EB Games, which is Canada's branch of GameStop. And they were able to pre-order an SDCC Transformers Generations Pack 1, which is probably going to be one of our exclusives, which we have the receipt image here. This would seem to go along with the idea that the SDCC exclusives are going to be offered the same way as the previous year's ones were, where it's not only going to be at show. They're probably planning still for online distribution of these, probably because their timetable was still such that they couldn't have everything just to go for the show.
Yep.
What we know right now was planned for SDCC or convention season exclusives this year for Generations was a 2-pack of Alpha Trion and Orion packs, which was supposed to be retools of Studio Series Sweep or Scourge and Studio Series Cup.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I wondered if that was something that had just been like canceled quietly, or
right.
We haven't heard about that in a long time.
No, but I mean, you wouldn't really expect to until convention season started to come around, and the stuff starts getting manufactured and leaked out. Like, we'll probably end up seeing some of these turn up
next week.
Before too long. Maybe.
Next week it'll be on Prime vs. Prime.
When is SDCC?
About a month from now.
Yeah, Anthony says in the chat, I'm almost certain we're headed to another night of 1,000 pre-orders.
Oh, please no. That's Anani TF, not Anthony.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, their name might be Anthony for real, but the screen name is Anani TF.
Yeah.
I mean, I call Rustin Cross Rusty at this point. We just, nickname him Anthony, and that'd be fine. I don't know. We'll see what Anani TF thinks about all this when he catches up with the stream. But yeah, so see, Don, you made me lose my train of thought now.
Your train of thought derails.
So like the joke that seems to go along with the Orion packs, and Alpha Trion, it seems to be like use the pull apart feature to simulate Orion packs being brutalized by the Decepticons before being rebuilt into Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is precedence for that from the Encore set where they used
of course.
Cup for Orion packs and Wheelie for Dion. One of the stranger choices in the Encore.
That was a weird one, yeah.
I'm just excited for an Alpha Trion because I don't really have a decent Alpha Trion at all. So hopefully it comes out.
Well, don't you have Titans Return, Alpha Trion?
He said a decent one, Don.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a good toy. Terrible. It's just not a good representation of Alpha Trion.
Yeah,
I mean, I like it. I like it as a reimagined interpretation of Alpha Trion, along the same line as the senile old coot from IDW, which is sort of kind of what it should be taken as.
Yeah.
But for G1 cartoon-based Alpha Trion, it's not great for that. Now it's not like a posable toy or anything. I like the Cyberverse action feature Alpha Trion. I actually bought one of those when I found it, I think at Marshall's or Ross or something. I don't think I paid full price, but I picked one up when I had the opportunity. I like the spaceship mode it turns into, and the robot is very static, but it's a good looking representation of Alpha Trion, pretty consistent with G1. I have mixed feelings about the concept of this SDCC 2-pack because I don't really like that Scourge mold that much. The Cup mold I ended up liking more once it came around again in the updated deco from Buzzworthy. Hopefully that'll end up looking good as Orion packs also, but it's still I'm kind of half and half on the set.
And see, I like the Scourge mold, and I don't think I like that Cup mold as anything other than Cup.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that too.
I'm kind of worried they're going to somehow turn that Scourge mold into DEF CON, which it's one of those.
It would work.
It would work,
enough.
but it's not what I want.
He'd just be DEF CON with wings, but.
Well, yeah, I mean the wings got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not the first. So, like, Don's right to point out in Encore, they turned G1 Cups mold into Orion packs. They also did it with the Titans Return mold. If you recall, there was the like Platinum Edition or adjacent 2-pack of that, and the War for Cybertron 2010 Optimus Prime. So like it seems like every time they have a new cup mold, we're just going to get this. I'm surprised they didn't end up doing that with the 2010 Generations Cup. The
what else can you really repaint Cup into? Like he's pretty unique.
Yeah, I mean, so like with that 2010 mold, GDO did it as an homage to Swerve, basically. BotCon did it as Gold Plastic Syndrome.
Yeah.
Or the Electro,
yeah. And Hoist, I think, too, from Machine Wars.
But I mean, I think that was just as much about having, very limited pickup truck or, small truck mold options.
that was when they were, reimagined versions, and it didn't look like G1 Cup specifically. Yeah. But I mean, I think they could use that with some retooling. I think you could actually get like a Firestar out of that, because actual truck mode.
Mm-hmm. That'd be interesting, actually. Yeah. All right, so moving on, we have some pictures from Tokyo Toy Show, which shows a lot of stuff that is coming up, although for us, a lot of this has come out already. So like most of what is on here, these came from the Twitter account of 502TF. A lot of this is stuff that we've already seen and some of us actually have, but there's a few interesting pieces in here. So we've got some Studio Series stuff here up through Sludge. Here's the train bots together, the 3 that have been announced. You can kind of see here, like they only have one model apparently for what's the name of the third one?
Yukikaze.
Yeah, thank you. They only have one model for that, and they have just printout of the train mode from the stock photos, and they don't even have the like leg mode on display. So like that's very obviously just really early in test shot development right now. You can also see here on the Shouki torso mode, they don't have the riding head on display either, so they probably only have one copy of that to go around right now too. Here's Galvatron and Thundercracker from Studio Series. And again, a lot of the stuff, they just have pictures of the alt modes because they only have one model to go off of. So this is some of Legacy, and we got Masterpiece, Trailbreaker, and Skyfire up there. Off on the side, of course, there is Titan class Metroplex, and there's Legacy Menasor, Motor Master, and Menasor mode up there, which it looks like Masterpiece Skyfire is going to be around the same height as that, maybe an inch or so taller. So like everybody was thinking that it was going to be similar to Commander Skyfire, Jetfire from Siege. Probably was actually on the right track with that. I was actually expecting it to be a little bit bigger, but these photos seem to suggest otherwise.
I'm still on the fence about Skyfire because I've got Phoenix. I got 2 versions of Phoenix. I've got Kronos, and I've got the Commander class.
Just burn Kronos and get Masterpiece.
No, but I mean, it's just I want to see what kind of engineering they do with this, just on how simple it actually is to keep this price point low.
I'm kind of on the fence about Skyfire now too, because I was a pass until I saw that transformation video, and it's so simple. It looks actually fun. Which is what I was afraid of. So I'm on the fence about that one now.
The one thing I'm not on the fence about that's in this photos is the Titan class Metroplex.
Oh, that is such an easy pass.
Yeah,
that is so easy.
Titan figure that I have not bought since they started Titan.
But somebody out there is going to be super happy to have it. So more power to them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think it's cool that exists for people who want an update of what was their childhood Transformers, and I think it looks nice from these photos of it on display here. But like, I have no interest in buying it for myself.
But I hope it does well. I hope it does well because I want more stuff from the Unicron trilogy. I want a tidal wave. So
Yes.
we need this to do good.
That's what I
Yeah.
was just gonna say. I don't mind that they did this, but they should have did Tidal Wave first.
Yeah,
I won't disagree.
I can't disagree. I disagree. Oh, there's Raiden's
Hey,
head.
Chris-
They just had it. They had it by Yukikaze instead of on the torso.
Yeah.
What's up, Don?
Oh, just something I pointed out because it's kind of tangent related. BBTS has pre-orders up for Walmart Tigatron, Walmart Scorponok, Target Buzzworthy 4-pack, and Target T-Rex.
Yeah, I noticed that the
So
other day.
it's like, so
It's not
the
Target T-Rex, it's Takara Tomy T-Rex.
well, okay.
Oh,
Well,
is it?
Yeah.
well, it says Hasbro too. So I'm just saying, you got 2 Target exclusive and 2 Walmart exclusives. I'm wondering if the exclusivity for these characters
Exclusivity.
is running out. I'm very tired. I'm sorry. So maybe at some point we'll see Netflix Soundwave released through these channels. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, once Walmart's period of a hold on that retool elapses, I'm sure if it's still financially viable at that time to run that mold again as a Voyager, they will for whoever wants to take it, because like Hasbro knows there's a demand, and they will be documenting that however they do to point any retailers down the line to say, people still want this. You'll make money if we make this for you and you sell this on our behalf. So, just as soon as that's possible, yeah, I would expect to see that come around again. Maybe this way, or maybe as, somebody else's exclusive at that point. It just gonna depend. Everything looks like at time.
Yeah. Oh, they also got
speaking of
Junkie.
train bots, which we loosely were a Junkie. Oh, BBTS pre-order.
Yeah.
So speaking of train bots, as we loosely were, this is from a Baidu message board post. Someone actually has Shouki in hand, and this is probably basically legitimately obtained because apparently the release date for Shouki is the end of this month. And Baidu, I think, is a Chinese-based platform, so it's very plausible someone in China would have access to retail stock legitimately a few days early.
Well, yeah, and they have the plastic packaging.
Yeah, exactly.
So it didn't sneak out in someone's pants.
Yeah, I mean, the most that would happen is that a shop broke street date for somebody that they know.
Yeah.
So like there's not anything too shady going on with this.
Or it's
I
not
don't
sold and it's at the
think-
shop. Who knows? I mean,
Yeah, I mean this could be posted by a shop owner who took a sample home with them.
when I
Like
worked
there's
at,
a lot of ways this could go around, but
yeah. When I worked at GameStop, we would be able to, open up a game that just came in and play it in the back room before it even released. So it's a thing that you can do when, you work at the store.
I wonder if that's still true.
It depends. A lot of the titles come in like the day before they
Right,
go on
right.
sale. At least that's the way they used to do it.
Mhm.
So we would get, a half a day with it before it would actually go on sale.
Shouki is a kind of big train.
Yeah.
And that instruction manual looks fairly daunting.
Yeah, I see at least 29 steps.
Hmm.
So there's like what I'm interpreting to be like in sequence stages of transformation here. Like not a complete step by step, but like kind of just shows some of the process going through.
Well, remember, there's also steps from train to robot and robot or train to
Yeah.
combiner piece. So there's going to be a lot of steps.
Yeah. So very, very helpfully, they got a tape measure out and actually got a specific height for Shouki's robot mode. So it's right about 7 inches tall. So like Voyager-ish size, maybe slightly bigger than average Voyager now, which is just kind of sad on a lot of levels.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at this and I'm just so worried the thing is just not going to hold together when it's combined. I don't
buy it.
I'm looking at this and just being so afraid of all the clear plastic I see all over the place.
Well, me too, but I am buying it. So.
Yeah, that's why.
So that'll give me night sweats. But Don, you don't have to worry about it because you're not getting it.
I know, and I'm worried about the people that I care about who chose this. I got the Moon Studios.
We all know what we've
signed up for.
Yeah.
Well,
what fate awaits us.
This is the last picture in the set, which is a height comparison with a bunch of other Masterpiece figures. So Shouki is only slightly taller than Hound in RC.
And it's shorter than Ironhide.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Ironhide's fairly tall. So
like, as for how this scales with other Masterpieces, like, I would say badly, depending on what you're looking for. But like if you wanted to incorporate these train bots into a Generations group, like, I think they're still smaller than they should be, but like the height difference is at least better for most of the lineup in that regard than it is for other Masterpieces. I'm not saying I would throw $700 or $800 into a Masterpiece riding to put with classics, but if that's the way you want to roll with it, it'll probably work out for you a little better than trying to incorporate it with the general Masterpiece lineup. Yeah, mostly I'm kind of with Don just on how many steps the instructions look, how many like folding parts there are, and how much clear plastic there is. Just, it's concerning, and I'm kind of glad that from the first thing we actually saw about this, I knew I needed to nope out of it.
Well, here's the thing. I imported JRX from Japan, and that was only 3 trains, and I had concerns back then because it was just 3 trains and a fair amount of clear plastic. This is 6 trains.
No, 6 trains is a different combiner.
Yeah, yeah. So, but why are you getting my feet? Don't get my feet.
So, me and Brian and John DeLuna have a friend from IRC, Doug Monacle. He imported JRX also, and he got just such horrible QC on the paint on the outer panels because those were all clear plastic, so the windows could be clear, and it was just terrible.
I think that was like a fairly common occurrence too with that set was bad paint.
Everybody seemed to be really happy when the Hasbro versions rolled around and they were all opaque plastic.
But and while toy engineering has increased dramatically since then, that was 3 trains. This is double the components with a lot more complexity. So I don't know. I got a bad feeling about this.
I still think JRX is quite good too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
JRX is good
compared to Combiner. It doesn't compare to Combiner Wars in a lot of ways, but like it's still a very solid effort for its time period and what it's working
The
with.
individual pieces have some issues, but JRX as a combiner is really good to this day.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. So next up we have some pictures of for legal purposes we'll say dubiously obtained Velocitron Road Hauler.
It's gorgeous.
I mean, it certainly is a green grapple.
I must have it. It's a very green grapple, like fluorescent green grapple.
It's for those people who don't know to remember, it's Poland chainsaw green. It's green.
It's
gorgeous.
It's Constructicon green.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Might
I'll
even be a
point
tad
out.
lighter.
Well, I mean, remember, the pictures here are screenshots of a video which has been, processed in such a way to make the white background blow out, so the colors aren't going to be 100% accurately represented. But I mean, we should remember the intent with toys of Road Hauler is Constructicon green. In the cartoon, the individual quote unquote that they called Hauler was just grapple colors, I think.
Yeah.
So when for the e-hobby purposes, they basically retconned him as being related to the Constructicons, but being an Autobot. I think the last of the Constructicons didn't get Robo Smashed or something like that.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think because that's basically Grapple in those colors in the animation. So I guess that would be the first animation error possibly of the whole series.
I mean, the vehicle model was off too, and I think it was like a slightly more orangish yellow, but
yeah, I mean, you could tell that it was supposed to be based on that alternate. It just was not fine tuned in enough. Road Hauler does have an alternate face sculpt, which is screaming, because that's apparently what we get for alternate face sculpts now. You either get stoic or screaming.
Or
better than Dull Surprise.
It's a little bit Dull Surprise.
Yeah, it's definitely surprised face. But
I don't know. From this angle, it looks a little bit like screaming in anguish. That's what I get out of it anyway.
I don't know. The colors are amazing, and I really want it.
But what still bugs me more about all the versions of that mold, that panel on the front does not flip, and I keep wanting to make it flip. It's like it won't. That would have added so much more to it if that panel had just flipped around, so that way you could just have a clean front. It's so minor, but it's like I keep pushing the panel and nothing happens.
So this last picture just shows that Road Hauler does have the retooled shorter pegs from Inferno. So you don't have to shave anything down or widen any ports on the vehicle mode to keep those from breaking off. And I'm not really surprised that was the case, because I would imagine those parts of the mold are shared between Inferno and
that
Grapple.
was like a permanent change.
I don't imagine there's two full separate sets of molds for both versions of the toy. So the change to one would be reflected, and if they ever re-release Grapple again, which they could, that would probably have the shorter pegs by default then too. But yeah, this looks good. I won't mind picking this up. I will probably mind paying $35 or whatever for it, but we'll cross that bridge when it gets here, I guess. Or I'll wait for clearance, which is kind of what I'm doing with the Beast Wars reissues at this point. Especially since I found out while Tigatron is still $22.99, Cyber Shark is $24.99.
Oh wow!
And and even though I don't have that Cyber Shark mold, it still feels like kind of a tough sell to me at $25. I don't know.
What does a loose complete original one go for?
I don't actually know.
Judging at the rate they go on clearance, I'd say they're a pretty tough sell for everybody.
Well,
yeah.
Beast Wars Megatron was just on clearance for like $12 yesterday.
To steal for that.
Yeah, I ordered another one because I couldn't help myself.
I don't blame you. If you see either of the Beast Wars leader figures for like under $20, it's worth having for sure.
It was funny because he was like $12, and I think Rat Trap was $12.50. I'm paying more for Rat Trap than I am for Beast Wars Megatron. But
oh, that's amazing.
I don't think I ever picked up a Rat Trap, so I got him as well.
Yeah, I think I ordered Rat Trap when it was about $12 too, during one of the previous clearance cycles.
I really should get a spare Rat Trap just to have. But
yeah, I mean, you have a good working condition original, right?
Yeah.
Although it's still interesting to get this one because they completely remade it from scratch. Like they rebuilt or what it's a new mold. Like everything about it is different.
Yeah, I may have to do that.
Yeah. If you can get it cheap on clearance, it's an interesting novelty for that purpose.
Part of me hopes we'll get a Selects Rat Trap as RC. That whole, my great aunt RC line. And I've seen fan art and digibashes of that. It's like that'd be kind of neat.
I would more hope if they would do something like that, they would make the BotCon version instead of the reissue mold.
Yeah.
Well, I can't with them doing Tarantulas and Black Arachnia. I can't see them not making at some point a selects RC with a spider mode.
Maybe it's just completely the wrong toy. So, all right, moving on. We also have in the realm of dubious acquisitions, the first pictures of Legacy Minerva.
Looks good.
The mild retool of Elita 1. And by mild retool, I think just the head is different on it. There's some side-by-side.
That's the way it looks.
And the paint.
Well, yes, diecast. The colors are
And-
different.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she comes with the light bar to plug on top instead of the Alita
Right.
head thing, but we knew that was the case.
Yes, the car also gets a new head, essentially.
As it should.
What's interesting about this too, Alita has both guns in clear plastic, and Minerva seems to have one clear and one painted over black.
Huh.
We've actually seen two separate samples of this as of recording time, and both are consistent in that. So I mean, I think the clear is probably to keep up the energon gimmick in the weapons, and then the opaque is just like have a normal looking gun too, just because we had some extra paint lying around.
Why is the gun colorless clear plastic when the car windshield is blue?
But the clear plastic on the toy is colorless. They have painted the canopy over in transparent blue paint.
Oh wow.
Let me see if it's in one of the other angles. I think one of these pictures. Here's the side by side with Alita, and you can see like besides differences in where the paint is applied to accentuate the shapes differently, the molding seems to all be identical except for the head and the light bar. In one of the pictures I saw, you could see the backpack. It's this one. Let me get that bigger. I don't think my cursor is going to show up, but just behind the red shoulder block, you can see a hinge there. That's in colorless clear plastic. So all the clear plastic on here is colorless, and then they just tinted the canopy to be blue. Now, you know why they went that way instead of just making that a clear blue parts tree and letting the gun be clear blue. Who knows? Hasbro gonna Hasbro. But this also gives a good view of the head. It's not a headmaster, obviously. It's not the
We
mold's
weren't
not set up.
expecting it to be.
Yeah, the mold's not set up to
Yeah.
easily retool into that, as far as we can tell. Which, like, I can understand some people being disappointed in that, but you know, post Master Force, Minerva wasn't a headmaster anymore anyway. So you know,
If only Hasbro had done an entire, year and a half worth of toys where that was just all headmasters, where they get all those characters out.
So is this still rumored to be the Walgreens exclusive?
It is the Walgreens exclusive, yes. Now bear in mind, this will come out in Asia and probably Canada well before Walgreens gets around to offering it online. I still don't think anybody's ever reported Red Alert showing up in a store. So, you know, if you don't want to be waiting until the end of the year to try to get this off the Walgreens website, you know, look for your local toy retailers that get stuff from the Southeast Asia pool here and there. That's how I got Red Alert last year. I'm planning to try to do the same thing with Minerva this year, just because I don't want to mess around with the whole Walgreens thing.
I might need y'all's help picking one up because my Walgreens have still not put anything new out for months.
It kind of seems like they've gone to an online only for these exclusive toys. That's the way it seems to me, anyway.
Yeah.
They just had a new Stormtrooper in Walgreens, so they're still doing the in-store thing. I can't recall if I ever saw a red alert. I probably never looked because I think I got mine off of Walgreens.com or something. I don't.
Yeah, I think for like the Marvel and Star Wars stuff, there's still like on the shelf support for that. I don't think the Transformers stuff did all that well in general. Not the exclusives necessarily. Just, you know, the general Transformers offerings didn't do all that well for them. They probably deprioritized that for shelf space in the physical locations.
Makes sense.
Also, we found out some time back that the toy buyer that was responsible for basically developing this relationship with Hasbro in the first place had moved on, and whoever replaced them might have different priorities for what goes into that toy aisle in Walgreens.
Yes, and Star Wars and Marvel are both much larger properties than Transformers.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of factors that could be at play here. At least this is still an avenue for this stuff to get developed, even if we have to look for alternate ways to get hold of these than getting them from Walgreens. And if you're willing to pay the little bit of extra to get it months early, there's nothing wrong with getting imported Southeast Asia stock.
Yeah, because if Minerva was something if Minerva was something that had to be slotted into a retail assortment, it would never happen.
Yeah, I mean, it could. We've had weirder things turn up in retail assortments, but it is very unlikely. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it would end up going somewhere, but just having the one extra space that they can fill with something, I'm still happy with, even if it ends up being an online only thing. Speaking of additional product slots, because that's as good a segue as any, I don't have any pictures to run with this one because it's just blocks of text. We have UPC sequences for the next 3 Beast Wars reissues. So that's going to include Deluxe K9, which is the retool of Wolfang, and Basics Terrorsaur and Iguanus. We don't have prices on K9 and Iguanus, but Terrorsaur's listing comes with a price in Walmart system of $24.97.
So yeah, just like the previous waves, probably the basics and the deluxes wound up at the same price point.
Either that or K9's gonna be $1 or so more expensive. But yeah, I mean, again, I haven't done the research to see what like good condition loose examples of the original releases of Terrorsaur and Iguanus go for now. So I'm not sure if that $25 is a bargain or not. But like at the same time, like factory fresh, easy as walking into your store and getting them, like there's probably some value to that depending on your at the least it's good, I think, to see that these are continuing, even if the price point has gotten to a point where it's kind of putting me off the concept now.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised they're continuing because pretty much every wave has been, close to clearance or at clearance levels at one point or the other. So yeah, I'm kind of shocked.
Rob, you were going to say?
Well, I'll start with the thing I was going to say, and then I'll start with the other thing that I just thought of.
Yeah.
Which is, I think about $25 is about what I paid for my loose Terrorsaur like 10, 12 years ago. So that's probably not a bad price for a.
Yeah, it's probably gone up from there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably a pretty good price. It's probably worth picking up. The other thing I was going to say is, I think, Rise of the Beasts got pushed back because of the pandemic, right?
Among other things, probably, yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think the odds are that these Beast Wars assortments were all pre-purchased a long time ago with the assumption that there would be a movie tie-in to help move them?
That's an interesting thought, actually.
Yeah, I just, knowing how far in advance this stuff happens, it just kind of getting that feeling.
And to Diecast's point, that's why we're still seeing these come through, because the agreements were reached well before Walmart knew, we're having to clearance these out kind of hardcore. Like we've heard that there's going to be Black Arachnia and I think Tarantulas reissues, but I would imagine past that we shouldn't expect too much more out of this, because that probably would line up with the end of what the original agreements were.
Yeah.
And honestly, Walmart being Walmart, they could just be like, no, we changed our minds, we're not going to take those last ones, and then we'll see them end up either like through Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store, or worst case scenario, Ross and Marshalls.
Yep. Maybe Five Below for super lucky.
We're not that lucky anymore, Rob.
I think we're priced down to Five Below now, even for discount.
Yeah,
probably.
Well, remember, a lot of Five Belows have that above $5 section, they could still work them into that if they wanted to.
They haven't done it with toys yet, but it doesn't mean they can't.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Rob made a good point that kind of segues into the last news item, because I hadn't thought of that connection before, but it kind of makes sense for Beast Wars Monopoly, which I'll get set up here in just a second. I got distracted by that good line of conversation. So this popped up on an Australian retail website, but one presumes it will be available globally. So we have official Beast Wars Monopoly coming from Hasbro Gaming. This seems to be one of those premium sets, because the Australian price is like Australian $85-$90, which the store's conversion tool puts at about 64. So I would assume, a $50-$60 price point when it is released to the US directly. We don't have like a super good picture of the game board, but we have, some sense of it. There's a little golden disc token, some Energon cubes, some other little purple things. I can't quite make out what they are. There are little stasis pod tokens, though, which I think is kind of neat. And then, of course, character pieces in robot and beast mode, which is a nice touch. A lot of the spaces are taken from screenshots from the show. So, like, this is not like a half-assed project. Like, somebody put some time and thought into this. I don't know that I would spend 50 plus on a Monopoly board, especially since I don't have anybody to play Monopoly with, because, I don't have anybody around that I want to murder right now. But, like, I kind of appreciate this exists. It's kind of cool. It's not our first Transformers Monopoly either. There's been various sorts over the years, like going all the way back to, I think there was Transformers Armada tie-in Monopoly.
Oh, wow.
Once upon a time. Or maybe that was Risk. There was some boards adapt like Armada characters and design work. But yeah, it struck me as odd that we'd get a Beast Wars Monopoly, but yeah, your connection with the movie kind of like brings it into focus. If this year's Beast Wars push is just to take advantage of that.
I think it's the only thing that makes sense.
It really kind of is, yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
would
again, since
rather
stuff
the-
gets
a
planned in
Rise of
advance so
Beasts
much.
Monopoly, like, why not? Why reissue? Maybe it was cheaper for him, but if you're gonna do a Monopoly, do a Rise of the Beasts Monopoly.
It's entirely possible they could have done both, and this is the one they can actually release right now.
Yeah, or this is related enough to the concepts of Rise of the Beast, but it's also something that has a nostalgia grab, which you would want that for your expensive board game variant.
I mean,
whereas if you push out one for the movie and nobody cares about movie tie-in merchandise, which is certainly not unprecedented with the Transformers movies, you've just flushed a lot of money.
Yeah, thinking about it, since the lead time on a lot of stuff does seem to be about 2 years, if they got moving on the stuff about when the pandemic started, part of the like sales push to Hasbro's licensees could be, even if the movie gets pushed back, this can still go to market on schedule.
Yeah, I wonder if a board game has that much of a production lead time.
That's a good question. I don't really know.
Me either. That's a little bit outside of my experience, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's not supposed to be a black screen. Damn you, OBS. That's fine. I'm done showing stuff off. That was our last news item. So let's move into what we got this week. Don, why don't you go first with what you might have gotten for your birthday or what have you?
Well, I went down to Greensboro to see my friend Fred, and we hit a couple of places, Selfish Comics in Winston, things like that. That's where I saw that $450 Visionary Stacker Assault. Did not buy that, obviously. But got a couple of things, bought mostly for myself. My fiance got me ribs last night for my birthday. Got me a big old plate of ribs from a local place that was very good.
Nice.
Merchandise wise, I picked up from Walmart one of the last Miraculous sets I need. The Mission Accomplished set. Retail price is $34. It was online at $20. So I went ahead and picked that up to complete most everything I need. When I was at that Walmart, I also picked up something I wasn't expecting to see. Previously on X-Men. I got I got the Rogue bust, which I had not seen anywhere below $70 for the small bust, and I got this for basically right at $40. So, and I'm hoping to get the Gambit when it comes out. I'm not buying all the X-Men busts because there's a Cyclops bust. It runs about $60. And I'm not getting it, but it's in the 90s X-Men motif. Stopped by Acme Comics, talked to my friend Jermaine for a few minutes. He had a couple of the ThunderCats Ultimates there on the shelf, and I decided to go ahead and pick up Linkso because I've seen he's kind of limited on as an action figure, but I really want I've got the Pumara, and I really want Bengali when he comes out. And this is kind of like, you know how they always say on Transformers, they always do trios. This is the trio you kind of think of near the end of ThunderCats, Linkso, Pumara, and Bengali. So I decided to pick him up because I got him for basically retail without paying shipping or stuff like that. Went to Ed McKay's in Winston and picked up one of the other figures I've been looking for at Walgreens that I never saw, Maximilian from the Black Hole.
Oh, neat.
So I now have Maximilian and Vincent. So I have two of the robots. I never did pick up the Vincent and old Bob set because they're both scaled down, so they don't really quite fit the motif. I'm not paying $45 for it either right now. So I got that. I believe it was thanks to Preturnia on Twitter. He pointed out all those cheap Walmart things. I decided to get the Siege box set because it was $15. That had the Siege Megatron and the purple.
That's the Kingdom one, I think.
Oh, sorry, the Kingdom, the blind box, whatever it was, that has that Megatron and that purple fossilizer. Yeah, thank you. I figured for $15, I mean, it's kind of a neat looking dinosaur, and the Megatron I can always probably sell later if I wanted to. And the last thing I got, and I'm gonna let Diecast talk more about this because I haven't had a chance to open it, but I got Fans Toys Trailbreaker. So I haven't had a chance to tear into them yet. But Diecast, have you opened yours? You've opened yours, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'll let you go on more. I'll let you go. I just haven't had a chance to sit down with because it came Tuesday, and I just did not really have it in me to tear into it. I was really tired that day. So, but that's what I got this week.
Well, we'll come back around to that shortly. In the meantime, our next birthday boy, Rob, what do you have this week?
I got quite a bit this week. A lot of people have sent me stuff off of my tfradio.net/playlist Amazon wish list, and I'm really grateful for it. First off, from you, I got Gundam The Origin Volume 10, and thank you very much for that. Angel actually followed up with volumes 11 and 12, so I now have the whole thing.
Nice.
Yay!
Yes, so always nice to complete a series. Also, Kevin from History on the Fives sent me the first volume of Queen Emeraldus, so I've got just about all of Leiji Matsumoto's instrument panels that are currently in print. I mean, dude was just good at instrument panels. The comics aren't bad either, but just I don't know why that's just like his specialty, but he just really does some good backgrounds. It's kind of amazing. But there's an interview, I think, in the back of one of the volumes of Queen Emeraldus where he talked about how little ink cost when he was coming up as a manga artist. And when you look at those backgrounds, you get that. Yeah, ink was cheap. That kind of explains the whole deal. But also from my brother, I got the last two Wave 1 Gundam Infinity figures. So when I unpack those, I'll be able to put the Zaku together and see how that is.
Are you gonna get that a straight gold frame with the random 1 gold Zaku arm to just be weird?
I actually got the gold frame a while back because I found it on sale. So also I have also not unpacked that yet, but I do have it. And lastly, one of my friends from the Gundam Battle Operation side of things, Aki, was looking to get rid of a Master Grade Rick DS and passed it along to me unbuilt at lower than the current going rate on the secondary market, because secondary market one that's pretty killer at the moment. So I really appreciate that, and he even threw in a 1/100 scale action base to put under it. So
Ooh,
yeah, so that was really nice. And my memory is not great lately, but I think that's everything I've gotten this week.
pretty good haul. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris, one thing I forgot to mention I did get, which may be a special interest to you, is when I was hanging out with my friend Fred, he was able to rummage through some of his storage stuff, and he found the display stand for my Defiant. So now I can now have my Defiant displayed.
Oh, cool.
On the stand. So I forgot I did get that from him as well.
Very nice. Matt, do you have anything for us this week?
Just one thing. It came in the mail today. I got my Marvel Legends Ragnarok
Ooh.
from Don's very favorite comic story of all time, Civil War. So I have my sociopath cyborg murder Thor now. It's
how does the spinning hammer piece look? Does it look decent? Like he's
It's good.
I mean, I looked at it in package, but it actually spins. I didn't realize that.
That is great.
I thought you just stuck it and it made it look like it was. I mean, if one, like we talked about last week, if his regular head had non-bred eyes, it would make for a perfect classic Thor.
well, I mean, it's just off the 80th anniversary Thor. They just put new heads and gave him a robot hand. I do wish it came up with a smashed up fake Mjolnir, but props to the whoever sculpted the freaking the chant on every hammer.
Yeah, that's I know that's just kind of like a really nice touch.
Yeah, the only thing that gets me is they, like, on either head, they did not paint the wings on the helmet. I don't know why, but they're like beige on his silver helmet. Weird, but this will look fantastic once I get a US agent to stand it next to. I love my crappy characters. Morally ambiguous Avengers.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Diecast, what do you have?
As Don ruined, I have Outrider, which he is.
I didn't ruin.
Awesome.
I segued into that for you.
Yeah.
It was a teaser.
I ruined it.
I already got the the symbol on his chest, and contrary to some people, my head does not keep popping up, so it's actually where it's supposed to be. Really nice figure. Really impressed with it. I can't even see how Takar is going to beat this. It's just so nice. The only thing that's weird is the mirrors are kind of on the back of the arms right here, but they actually do have a hinge and they can swing in, but there's no way to swing them in to hide them in transformation. So even though they have that option to swing in, there's really no need for them to do that.
That's weird.
Yeah, I watched a video comparison of all the Trailbreakers up to date, including the pictures for the Takara one. And the person brought up a very good point. The Takara one looks like they made it with hoist built in, which is why the chest kind of just sits all wrong for Trailbreaker. And once that was pointed out, it's like, yeah, they're finding that happy ground between Trailbreaker and Hoist, which we knew that was going to happen. Once one comes out, the other one's going to come out. But it just really makes Trailbreaker look wrong.
And then I got Ironhide and RC
from Studio Series.
Bumblebee. Yeah, and I had to fight with Target to actually sell me
Ironhide
because it wasn't scanning, and I gave them the UPC of RC after I got escalated to a manager. I gave him the UPC RC or the DPCI, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we have that one." And I was like, "Well, it's not on the shelf, but it comes in the box with Ironhide." And he was like, "Oh, I'll go take a look." And he went to the back, and they had a box with one RC and two more Ironhides. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll take the RC too." So apparently he was able to ring up RC, and then he just had to ring up Ironhide as RC, because their system is sharing the DPCI for these two, but Ironhide won't ring up.
Yeah, so the DPCI should be for the whole assortment.
Yeah.
So that part's normal, and it just seems like they've got like all the they scanned in RC's UPC, which is specific to RC, and then didn't bother scanning in any of the other ones.
Exactly. Yeah.
And also Wheeljack, because when I picked up mine was from a master case, and there's a Wheeljack in that assortment. So maybe if you can use Wheeljack and you're talking to somebody at Target and you don't have the number, you might can use Wheeljack to try to narrow it down some. But Coordination Starscream and Sludge have different DCPIs, but are cross-referencing because mine got in 6 Starscreams, and I got the notification that Sludge was in stock.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and like Don, I also went in on the Walmart sale. I got the purple Paleotrex and the Megatron. This Megatron is honestly probably the nicest painted Megatron out of all of them, except for like G2. But he, I like that he has the Matrix strapped onto his chest and stuff like that. So I think, for $16.99, which is what the set was going for, it was totally worth it to get a deluxe and a Voyager.
I was really tempted when I saw that, but I decided I just cannot abide bringing another one of those into the house. Too many of those Megatrons.
Yeah. It's like, I know when I go through this mess, I'm going to be like, oh, here's a Megatron. Oh, here's another Megatron.
Well, technically, if you've got the shattered glass Megatron, you also kind of have that mold, right? So
yeah,
there's another one.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I also got the Beast Wars Megatron, which was on sale for like $12, and Rat Trap, which was on sale for like $12.50. And I think that's actually all I can remember. So there might be something else, but that's all I can remember.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
Well, as for me this week, I got nothing. So that'll do it for that. So, of course, if you'd like to help the show out, you can use our Amazon affiliate link at tfradio.net/Amazon. Amazon Prime Days are coming up like the first week of July, I think. They sent me an email earlier.
It's like the 12th and 13th, I believe.
Yeah, it's in my email somewhere, but it sounds right. So yeah, we'll go with the second week of July. Obviously, once that's bring up, and let you not know that it's happening. So if you go in for any say Amazon Prime Days, take a moment to remember our affiliate link and help throw a little revenue back our way, because everything you buy once you go through tfradio.net/Amazon, then for the next day or so, we'll send a little bit of referral feedback to us, and that is a lot of help in keeping operations going here, because as Brian rightly points out regularly, doing this is not at all cheap.
No.
And of course, our favorite way that you can help us out is by becoming a patron, because that's the way that you can help out and we can give you things back for helping us, including exclusive content or early content. One of our favorites is History on the Fives, the podcast Rob does with his assortment of regulars. And Rob, why don't you tell us a little bit about History on the Fives, since that's your show?
Okay. History on the Fives is the podcast where our touch tier patrons and I go back through Transformers history in 5-year jumps and take a look at everything that happened along the course of a week. I would say this week, but that is only true before we took off a bunch of weeks for various, medical problems and what have you. We just did like the last week of May, the first week of June last night. So yeah, there's a little bit of a delay there at this point, but it's a fun time. And last night we had Diecast with us. Thank you for coming on. It was fun to have you.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a
anytime
good time with those guys.
Oh yeah, they're a good group. And yeah, if you want to hear that before it makes the public feed, you can become a patron. And if you want to be on there, that's what Touch Tier is for. And just get in touch with Brian. He will let you know, what the kind of audio he recommends to get on there with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's a big draw right there for the Touch Tier, is that you can be on one of our podcasts like that. And I've been on History on the Fives once or twice, and it's pretty entertaining just to be part of. So I would definitely recommend anybody who's interested to take up that opportunity if it's available to them. If you want to become a patron at any tier, we appreciate everybody who helps us out that way. Go to patreon.com/tfradio or tfradio.net/Patreon. It both goes to the same place. It's just whichever one's easier for you to remember. But of course, at this time, every show, we'd like to thank our patrons at the Touch Tier, because this is one of their other perks, to get a shout out every week on the show. So thank you so much to Kevin Dorsey, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones. I'm legally obligated to thank Nest, also J. Russell, J. Rye, Hamilton, J. Owen Lutia, Sean Bratton, Tyrell Gwynn, Rick McCrick, Blake Reynolds, Vegemite Mike, Jason Tate, Eric Griffin, Cybertron Toys or Angel Investortron, and Sean I. Williamson. Thank you all so much for being our Touch patrons. And thanks to all of you who have signed up for our Patreon and helped to keep us doing the thing that we love to do and that you love to have us do for you. Brian Kilby, of course, is not here this week. You can find him on Twitter at @bkilby. He also is, primarily the one posting non-automated stuff to @TF Radio on Twitter. He's also, lurking around the Discord, also tfradio.net/Discord, which you should join. We've got a great Discord community, and it's the main way to talk to us live during the show every week. I also lurk in there, and I lurk most of the time, but I'm also active when I choose to be. I'm sneaky that way. So find him and the things he does at briankilby.com, which I don't know what or if he does anything over there except for the yearly Christmas albums, but there's always something percolating. Also not with us on a regular basis, unfortunately, that John DeLuna. He's a step back from the podcasting life to have more of a family life, and I fully support that decision. Those are good priorities to have.
Oh yeah.
Also, Rob Springer is not with us on a regular basis anymore, but we love Rob Springer, and we will never forget him. We will never let anybody else forget that he is one of the family here. So you can find him at Rob Springer on Twitter, and you can find his writings and his podcasting at zonebase.org. Again, I'm mostly found in our Discord at this point, so just head in there and you can, direct the message at me if you want to get my attention if I'm not around at the time. Other than that, if you want to catch up with my toy photography work, that's at playwithphotography.com. If you want to throw some support my way for the work I do, patreon.com/playwithphotos. Or if you just want to send things at me randomly, I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist, which is an affiliate link for RFC. So anything you send me will also benefit the show a little bit. Diecast, why don't you do yours next?
Okay, my birthday is actually 1 month from today.
Ooh.
My mom actually thought, I'm getting worried about my mom. She actually thought my birthday was today.
Oops.
Which is the first time that's ever happened. So I was like,
Oh my.
I gotta talk to my sister about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1 month till my birthday exactly from today's date of recording. You can find my wish list at tfradio.net/diecast-list. You can see all my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews or youtube.com/rfcreviews. You can follow me on Twitter at diecast2. That's where I am the most active, definitely. And you can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast.
Done.
Well, I can be found on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. And also, for those who may not know, I am getting married in October to a wonderful woman.
Congratulations.
Who has the patience of a saint. And we are going to be going on. We're going to be going on a cruise, and we have set up a link at tfradio.net/honeymoon that we have a few gifting options out there that if you're in a position to help and would like to help us experience a few things on board that we couldn't do ourselves, there are a few links there for gifts and such if you're in a position to help and would like to. And again, as I always like to thank everybody, what are you doing on my feet? Stop it.
Don would like to thank everybody for getting on his feet for unknown reasons.
No, sorry, Hank is biting my toes. But I want to thank
for those who haven't been around the last few weeks, Hank is Don's new kitten, not a new member of the family as such.
Yeah.
Just because out of context, Don, that's kind of concerning.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. 2-month-old Siamese mixed kitten should tell
my condolences.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you to everybody that's contributed to the honeymoon thingamabob. Really appreciate it. Thank you much.
That kitten really ruined Don's flow there.
I'm tired.
Okay. I can be found on Twitter at Rob Flails, which is the official Twitter account for Flail Throughs, which is my gaming channel on YouTube. Mostly right now it's Gundam Battle Operation 2, which is still updating weekly. This last week was the Sturm Gallus, or Sturm Gallus in the official translation. Yeah. Which is, I wish I'd gotten it. It is a fascinating, punchy mobile suit with almost no boost, just enough to dodge, but not enough to do anything with. My only
so they gave you a punching mobile suit, but not the speed to actually get up on anything and punch it before you get shot.
Oh, it walks really fast. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a video out there of it backpedaling just faster than other things can walk. It's pretty great.
Okay,
but apparently in Gundam Unicron, the Gallus basically used a couple of magnetic anchors to go from ship to ship and punch things, but unfortunately in the game those anchors work more like heat rods, so they cause heavy stagger. They don't actually let you pull things to you or let you pull yourself to other things. That's kind of a shame, but otherwise it looks like it's fun and I just unique, and I want to try that out when I can. Mm-hmm. But if you like Gundam Battle Operation 2 or Gundam gaming in general, check out youtube.com/flailthroughs. I do intend to get back to other games eventually when I have 2 arms. And if you like what I'm doing over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can give me money for it. Or if you'd rather just send me something, I don't care if it gets here after my birthday. So, technically neither should you. tfradio.net/playlist.
Although your wish list is getting a little sparse, you might want to throw some new stuff on there.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that'll do us for RFC this week. Thank you all for being here. Brian will probably be back with us next week, and we'll have a slightly more normal show. Although I'm looking at the time right now, and we're like not even running over somehow. I don't know how that possibly happened. And we didn't have any major technical issues. Rob's computer dropped his microphone for a few minutes, but like, if that's the worst thing that happened tonight, and I just realized also, Matt, you're still here.
I know, it's weird, right?
The night the storms roll through is the first night in like 3 weeks that you haven't just randomly dropped off the call.
Yes, I can hear the rain pounding on my tin roof, and yet here I still am. I can't explain it. I don't know.
All right.
Metal roof life. I know it well.
It's wonderful.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Take care, all.
Even
Recording
though my
stopped.
camera is not on and like, the camera's even covered up, just like out of habit, I wave at the camera every time I say bye.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was a good show.
It was.
Live audience, I think since half of us are kind of tired and Matt's waiting for his house to blow away, we'll probably call it there. So no post show this week.
Yeah,
hopefully Diecast will actually be able to go in and turn off the stream this time and it won't run for an extra 20 minutes with no content.
I'll